Hi guys, welcome to my shed. Just wanted to do a bit of a response vid to Nerdy Geezer and all about memories of your first console or computer. And to be honest with you, my earliest memories are with a mate of mine who I don't see at all now, and it was either a Coleco or an Atari. I can't remember, but they had Donkey Kong. I think that's the only game they might have had, or the only game I can remember. But I just remember thinking it was absolutely amazing. I thought the quality of the graphics and everything just looked just like the amusement arcade. I do think it might have been a Coleco they had when I look back. I'm not too sure, but they're like my earliest memories of a home video game or computer, or whatever, console. And another friend, Andy, round the back of me had a ZX81. So that's the year we're talking. I'm not sure, it's like 1980, 81. And I tended, because he lived right, we were neighbours, I tended to be in his house all the time. And I think it was his brothers, and we were playing Horace and the Spiders, which I believe, I say Horace and the Spiders, I do know that was on a 16K. I didn't realise the ZX Spectrum was a 16K. I know there was a 48K, which I had a later model of that, and the 16K, which, to be honest with you, when he told me, he corrected me on something recently, I just couldn't remember. And those were the systems that really made me want to get some kind of home computer. And it wasn't for a couple of years after that I ended up getting and actually before I got my Spectrum, I actually got given to us. So my first, sorry, I'm going about the place here, but my first console that I owned for me, because when I was younger we owned a Binatone bat and ball game, which was a family thing. That was back in 1976, and I remember it well because the Christmas day we got it, my brother got the Blondie album, and that was on in the background. It was 1976, 77, Call Me a Liar, and it really takes me back. But sorry, back to the Atari, back to the console. My first console that I owned was given to me by Pete McCauley, a really nice guy, my brother's best friend, one of my brother's best friends, and he gave us an Atari, I think it's a 2600 with a wooden front, or wooden looking front, and he gave it us for nothing with a pile of games, and the excitement of getting that was just unbelievable. Like, you know, I'd always wanted one, probably 5 years too late. It's probably why he was giving it away, in fairness, but I think he knew I didn't have one, or it might come in of use. So yeah, and I was never off it. We had a pile of games: Yars' Revenge, Missile Command, Space Invaders, Defender, a couple of others that weren't too good. And I remember, to be honest with you, the Atari 2600, to me, there was only 2 games that really stood the test of time that I could literally pick up and play now. Because the only saving thing for the Atari for me is the box art. That's probably the only reason why I collect it again now. I would never ever probably play any other game than Space Invader and Missile Command. They're the only 2. It was Asteroid on Atari, I can't remember, but those 2 games, Missile Command and Space Invaders, are probably the only 2 games I could pick an Atari up and play now and fully enjoy. But that was our first console, and getting all the boxes, and it was just it was unbelievable. And then from there I went on to get a ZX Spectrum, a 48K Spectrum, which again, such fond memories, but again, not as fond as going around with mates and playing it. several years earlier, because I got the hard plastic keyboard Spectrum. I don't think it had the built-in cassette. I can't remember now, but yeah, I don't think it did. But yeah, it was going around. My friends was playing it. Andy around the back was miles more exciting, and Andy had like an Aquarius, Oric Atmos, every computer that came out. I think it was his brother went out and bought it. His brother Gary. That was more exciting than owning it yourself. But yeah, that was the Atari was my first console. I would like to pick one up again, and it'd probably just sit on a shelf. I would never buy an Atari Mini because, you know, I think you need the cartridges for an Atari to make it worthwhile having. But yeah, that's my first console. Then I went on from Spectrum to Master System, which I remember when the Master System came out and they were previewing it in, it might have been Electronics Boutique or GameStop or GameSpot, I can't remember, it was in Manchester Arndale. I remember they had Rocky on the screen, and I remember two guys like proper bang into the micros and that, just stood there going, no, this has got to be on this has got to be on the Atari ST, this can't be in any other format. And it just blew everyone away, you know. I remember it being previewed months earlier on Network 7. I don't know if you remember that programme. They actually got Space Harrier on. I remember seeing Network 7 going, oh my god, they finally made the arcade for the home. And how wrong we were, really. It was just, you know, you could never seem to get that arcade quality, no matter what they did. That said, I did see something recently. I was actually looking for a box, Alien Syndrome, for the Master System. Not that I've got a Master System, I just wanted it. And what came up on eBay was, you know, I might have this name wrong, the Sega X6000 or something like that, which I've never even heard of. I've never heard of, and it is, I couldn't believe the quality. I was like, when did this come out? And I was like, thought, I'm going to buy one. I looked at the price. There was something like 1,500 quid. I think there was even some for £2,000. I don't even know what it looks like. I'll look into it some more. I'm not going to buy one, just out of pure curiosity. But yeah, so it was the Atari was my first own console, and you know, it was brilliant. I remember getting Empire Strikes Back from a second-hand shop. It wasn't second-hand, they just got a load of unused stock, almost like the ET game getting dumped in Nevada. Just a pile of games, of brand new games, and they were all, every single one of them was Empire Strikes Back, and I got it for £1.99, and everything about it, the box and everything, I actually don't even know what I did with that. I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't be surprised if that went in the bin, or my mum gave it to animals in distress or something like that. But yeah, so it's a bit of a short vid, short and sweet. And yeah, that's my first console, the Atari. Thanks very much, guys. See you all soon. Take care.